Welcome back to the most dramatic Bachelorette episode finale ever. Season finale ever. This episode was a back-to-back. Yesterday and tonight. And I wrote down that...
You're not going to introduce me?
Oh, I'm so sorry, honey. And always welcoming back my lovely wife as my co-host on this dramatic Bachelorette episode ever.
Thank you.
So I just was so excited to get into it. I apologize. There's just so much to go over. I wrote down that the first episode, last night's episode, should have been called Ice Ice Painty.
Why?
Because of the ice bath and the paint.
Yes, and the
Ice Ice Painty.
Gotcha.
Oh, yeah, it was a really bad joke. Okay, I have to let the listeners know that my wife has censored me tonight, so if you want the real story, you'll have to tweet me because there's a couple things that I can't talk about. So it'll just be a mystery for the ages. You can tweet me at @popcornpriest. Okay, so the dudes are sitting around the couch with the elephant in the room, speaking about fantasy suites. I mean, yeah, they're like, it was super awkward. JoJo's back, and it felt kind of like a throwaway. Like, okay, JoJo, you were still in your La Quinta Inn suite, and we needed to add you in for another 2 seconds.
That was weird.
She's not even married yet, so pop off. Like,
is she? Or I thought they got married.
It's like you're giving all this advice. I mean, I guess you've been on the show, but
she's giving advice about who to pick.
True.
And she's been there.
Okay, fine, but you're not even married.
I think she is. Didn't they get married?
No, she's still engaged. She's on. You can look it up, but she's on HGTV with her fiance. I don't think they're married. Let's see. Why wouldn't Zach hand him the letter?
What letter?
His Ivan. Zach was super pissed. Like, he gets the date card or whatever, the fantasy suite card, and he like reads it. And usually they always, hand it over to the dude, and he was not having it. Zach was kind of angry. And he says, I love this quote, "I would let my sister date him, just not my girlfriend taking him out." And he's talking about Ivan going out on the first fantasy date with Tayshia.
May 2021.
They got married?
No, in May 2021.
Oh, 2021.
Is when they hope to be married.
Hope to be married. Well,
that's on JoJo.
Stop giving marriage advice until you get married, JoJo.
No, she's not. She's just talking about the Bachelorette and being there.
Well.
And who to pick.
Well, anyway, JoJo's gone. And in Palm Springs...
What?
Normalcy? I don't know what the word I'm trying to say, but Ivan started off sweating bullets. And
it's hot there. Everyone's sweating bullets.
Which leads to the date.
Oh, the ice bath.
The ice challenge bath. It's not the ice challenge, but it was a Guinness Book of World Records of how long you can be in an ice bath.
Kissing.
The record is, do you remember?
5:16 or something.
Oh my gosh, you got it exactly right. That's exactly right. 5 minutes and 16 seconds.
And they beat it by a minute and...
Yeah, they did a little over a minute longer. And it was like 41 degrees. And I think women have a higher tolerance for pain because she was like... she was cold, obviously, but it wasn't a big deal. And Ivan was just like, so the ladies got the cold hurt. They can handle it a lot more than the dudes.
That was cool. I'm glad that they beat the record.
So,
That was cool.
they beat the record.
That was cool that they beat.
Oh,
the
that
record.
is cool. It was cool.
I think that I'm funny.
You are funny. So I have two beefs. Well, first thing is, who's Paulie? Who's Big Paulie? Am I supposed to know who Big Paulie is?
Oh.
He was like the announcer for the ice challenge.
Oh yeah, he's like the ice challenge guy.
I don't know.
Maybe he needed to be there to make it official.
But he's not from the Guinness, this is my problem with the whole thing. I watch Rob & Big. I know you don't know what that is, but there's multiple times that Rob Dyrdek tried or got a world record for things, and they invited dudes from the Guinness Book of World Records to be there and officiate.
Okay, I love you, but there's a lot of stuff to talk about. I'm not worried about that.
Okay, well, this is my take, and I want the ladies' take, but I had a problem with that. So next thing, I feel like during dinner she was trying to convince herself that she likes Ivan. Did you feel that way?
Yes, because you never really saw Ivan. You never really saw that he was like a front runner.
Yeah.
But then sometimes they do that, and then they're the ones they pick.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know. But my thoughts on the fantasy suites is the person they pick last is the person they're going to end up with. But that didn't happen. Well, kind of it did.
Yeah, it did. I mean, kind of it did. We'll get there, but it kind of did. So I wrote down, Ivan says what does live hard for someone? That's what Ivan says. I'm going to live hard for you.
I don't know.
That's so weird. Okay, and here's another question.
We're old though. Maybe it's like
I'm not that old. So I have a question for you, honey. There's so many levels of love. So I'm falling for you. I'm starting to fall in love. I'm falling in love. I have fallen in love, and I am in love with you. I feel like they're all the same thing. What? They're all like, I feel like it's just.
Yeah, like I'm starting to fall in love with you is like testing the waters. Like I kind of love you, but I want to see what you say when I say that.
Oh, okay. I feel you on that one. I feel in love with you on that one. So, I just feel like
but
they're all the
really
same
ever
thing.
hear them say I'm in love with you. They either say I love you or I'm falling in love with you.
Yeah, I wrote down all the different ways that I heard it. Falling in love, falling for you. I'm starting to fall in love. I am falling in love. I have fallen in love, and I am in love with you. And then just I love you.
Yeah.
The 7 degrees of love on The Bachelorette. So I feel kind of bad for Ivan. They got a dirty trailer with this tiny bed for their fantasy suite. But the redeeming quality was
What?
they got donuts.
Oh, she likes donuts.
She likes donuts. And FYI, I'd like a donut. How about that?
Okay.
What did you think about Tayshia's glasses when she's coming out of the trailer? Do you remember that?
She looks
that a
cute
surprise?
no matter what, but I did think they were a little thicker than I thought that she would have.
I wouldn't have ever known that or guessed that she would need
yeah.
that strong of a prescription.
But she looked cute no matter what.
I mean, to all the listeners, I'm a 4 eyes guy. I've got glasses, but she had pretty thick bottle cap glasses. Sometimes you need corrective eye lenses to help you see when you wake up in the morning.
Yep.
But
she did have makeup on already.
She did.
She was looking good, but she didn't put her contacts in.
But I bet some ladies get permanent makeups probably, right? I don't know. I thought Ivan gave her a bruise, but you told me that she had already had it, right?
When she got in the ice bath, I noticed.
Yeah. And I thought it was awkward that after the date was over, she sends him on his way and she walks back into the trailer. I know. These are just the weird things that I think of. You think of all the lady things.
Well,
but
what is she supposed to do? Just
I don't
sit
know.
out there by herself?
Go back to her room. Like, that's not a room. It's just a weird trailer in the middle of the...
She wants to go get dressed.
I feel like it's awkward. It was awkward when Ivan goes back to the dudes.
Yeah. Well, for sure. It was last season with... Who was the dude and all the...
Last season? I don't...
Who was the...
I'm struggling to remember all the dudes' names in this season.
I know. It's been harder to remember their names for some reason. Anyways, yeah, of course that's awkward because someone just spent the night with her. Someone's going to spend the next night with her.
Yeah. Anyway, so Zach is new dude number 2. So what... Date. Here's my question for you. How many ounces of paint did they actually consume in their paint date?
I don't.
They had to have eaten some paint.
Maybe it was edible paint.
Hope so, because I don't want anyone to get lead poisoning. They started off, I don't know why anyone thinks that you can do a paint date. We saw it on that weird Netflix date show, too, where they had paint. It never turns out great.
It just turns to be a black blob.
It's like a...
But they were purple. It was like purple instead of black. Yeah,
they look kind of like Barney or Oompa Loompas when they were finished.
Yeah, it wasn't black, so that's fine.
Yeah. Purple's fine. So here, going back to the love comment that I had earlier, he keeps on saying that he needs to tell her how he feels, but I feel like he already said that.
Well, yeah, because in a previous date, he said, I love you, or I'm in love with you, one of the two, or 8 or 7 options.
And she already said it back.
And she said it back.
Yeah.
Which I was really shocked because it was still pretty early on when she said, I love you back.
Yeah.
Like, there were still like 5 or 6 guys left.
I was super confused when he was just like, oh, I need to tell her how I feel. I'm like, I feel like I already did that, dude.
Yeah.
And here's another popcorn beef. Stop jumping on beds, people on The Bachelor. We don't need you breaking beds at these hotels.
Oh, my God.
Remember that after their date?
They were dancing on the bed?
They're dancing on the bed.
Why do you care?
I just don't like it. Stop it. Stop jumping on the bed, man. You're going to break it.
Oh, my gosh.
And then Zach comes back in the room and another weird, awkward moment with the dudes. And now it's Brendan's turn. Brendan's number 3 I wrote down Brendan is number 3 in the tree, KISSING.
Oh my goodness.
That was pretty good, right? So do you remember what they went and did on their date?
Which I was so shocked because it wasn't like, let's go have fun. It's like, let's go pick our engagement rings out.
Yeah, Neil Lane shows up.
Stressed. You could see in his face.
Oh my gosh, his face. He was freaking out looking at diamonds.
Oh my gosh.
He had no expression on his face.
Well, he would like freak out expression.
Other than freaking out, yeah. He was not having fun at all. And I didn't expect that because I really like Brendan.
I know, and I felt like it was a good thing because I literally felt like she was like, let's pick our rings. Like, that's why she picked that date.
Yeah. And to your point earlier in the episode, she saves the best for last, I think.
Yeah, and I thought she was picking him.
I think she thought she was picking him.
Yeah.
TBH. And what happened?
He sends himself home. Like, what?
He said he was still broken and he needed time to heal. Like, man, you got this nice lady right here, super nice and kind. She'll help you heal, bro.
I think the ring thing just like made things more, and like the pressure of knowing he'd have to propose. Like, I think that was just like Tayshia had a hard time. I think it just got to him, and I was shocked. Like, I was seriously shocked that he sent himself home.
Why did he stay so long, though?
I know. Like, why didn't you realize that?
It just seems like, man.
But she kept saying, she's like, it was him all along.
Yeah.
So that kind of broke my heart, because I was kind of thinking that they would end up together. But then again, she told Zach, not him, that she loved him.
Well, spoiler alert, I hope Zach doesn't ever watch that scene where she's like, I was ready to pick Brendan. I mean, and then who comes back at the end of the episode?
Oh my gosh.
Rachel.
Oh, I thought you were gonna mean someone else. Oh yeah.
Oh
Rachel's
no,
cute.
sorry. That's episode 2. This is the very end of episode 1. Well,
Yeah, Rachel
which
comes back. Yay.
I like Rachel.
Yeah, I like her too.
I was surprised that she came back, to be honest.
I like how she described herself. I'm the sister you never wanted. Is that what she said?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, so I thought it was cute.
So
I wonder if it's just the producers bringing these gals or if they're like really legit friends. Like JoJo, is she really her friend or is it just because she was going to be the host for a little bit?
that's a good question.
And then is Rachel, are they like legit friends or is it just like...
Or if Tayshia like requested, hey, I'd like to have her come on. I want her advice. Or if they, like you just said, if they suggested it to her.
Well, but in all honesty, like you think, well, why wouldn't she just want her own best friend? But Rachel's been there, done that. So she can kind of give more advice because they've...
Well, and I'm not going to get into it, but I was really surprised that she actually made an appearance on the show because she was pretty angry with the way certain things went down in the past seasons. And I guess she's patched things up with the show.
It's awesome.
And then the promo for episode 2, the cliffhanger
is
Ben.
Oh.
Ben pulls a Bennett and
he so does.
Comes back, pulls a Superman and comes back. The prodigal son returns in episode 2.
And says the exact same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
You. Like, you don't need to say anything. I don't know what to do or what I want to happen, but I just need to let you know how I feel.
And you know what she says?
She does not look happy.
Why didn't you tell me earlier? And she's right.
Yeah, you needed to tell her earlier. But she doesn't look happy. But then he goes to leave, and what does she do?
Oh, yeah, she for sure kissed him first.
Like, for sure. Like,
yeah.
Oh, wait, what?
We rewound it at least once, maybe twice, to make sure that she leaned in for the kiss. And he was like, whoa. Because he even said, as they're walking out the door, is a hug, am I allowed a hug? Is that allowed? And then he got the kiss, and then he was like, oh, my heart skipped a beat and all that stuff. And I was
really surprised because she did not seem like she wanted to have anything to do with it. Like, I think she really liked him, but she wanted to hear how he felt earlier.
Yeah.
And then she was, I don't know. That was crazy. And then to keep him.
Oh, yeah. What's crazy is Ivan and Zach don't even know that Brendan's gone and Ben's back.
I know, and then Ben walks out.
So they're potentially weren't even going to see Brendan walk back, and they'd be like, oh, we're the only two. And then they see Ben waltz in, and they're, I mean, who knows what's going on in their mind? Like, okay, well, where's Brendan and why is Ben here?
Mm-hmm. And then she pulls Ivan at the rose ceremony. She pulls him aside.
Oh, yeah.
Let him go.
Yeah. Poor Ivan. I didn't like what Zach said right before she pulls Ivan away, or like during the time she's pulling Ivan away. Zach's like, until I have a rose on my lapel, there are no guarantees. I'm like,
which is true.
Yeah. No joke, bro. You like tell me the Mr. Obvious. Thanks.
But I was nervous that once she gave Ben the rose that she was going to end up with him. Like, I was nervous for a minute because I was like, wait a minute.
That's true.
You bring him back and then...
Well, and they don't talk about it, but it seemed like religion was what split up Ivan and Tayshia. And it felt really weird. And she didn't cry at all. He didn't really cry that much at all either. It just felt awkward.
She cried more with other people than she did with Ivan. So that was kind of, yeah.
And go ahead.
do I say it? I wonder if they like pick certain people that they have to make it to the end with. Like
the producers are like,
you
okay.
had to have
It always seemed like...
two that you like, and then we just have to have this person.
Remember that blonde girl that had a nanny?
Oh, yeah.
What was her name? And she was in a bunch of seasons. I felt like they were keeping her around because she was
causing drama,
and people liked watching her.
I'm sure it is.
I can't remember her name, but she was, 24 years old and had a nanny, which is... Maybe I need a nanny. That'd be awesome. Just make me meals and do, I don't know, whatever nannies do. Let's see. It's crazy that Ben pops back in, sneaks back in, and now he misses the fantasy suite, but now he's getting grilled by the parents. And he's a sweaty mess, by the way. He was pitting out full frontal and back sweat.
Yes, it's hot, dude. Like,
Dad really likes Ben.
Yeah, when Dad comes to talk to her, that made me nervous.
Yeah, I think he liked him because he was like a West Point, military guy, and he felt like, that was cool. And then initially, I don't think he liked Zach when he came in, but Zach kind of won him over, right?
Yeah, I think they're, like you said, they're just being cautious because they don't want her to be hurt.
Yeah.
And so that's why I think when the dad knocked on the door to talk to
that was crazy too. That I've never seen a lot of firsts in this season. He waltzes in and it's like, hey.
I don't know if they were like really digging the guys. And he was like, I don't know if you should do this.
No. And that was the weirdest part is he's like, I don't want you to make the same or he says the biggest mistake of your life. And I still don't understand if he's like, hey, don't pick both these guys, or this guy's not good, or this guy's not good. He doesn't even explain it. It's like,
that we know of. He may have been there. Because you could tell she was like a little uneasy at the date. Like their last date was fun. They were dancing, but you could tell she was like off. And I think it's because of the conversation with her dad.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, we don't know if there's more information, but it just felt like don't do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want you to do anything.
But then I'm proud of her for just telling Ben right away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just rip the Band-Aid. Don't like have this fun day with him when you know that your heart's with somebody else.
That's true. And before we get to Ben's dismissal, Zach's date, here's another popcorn beef. They go to talk right by a fountain. I can't hear anything. It's so loud. Why are they standing by a fountain? It's so loud. And then and then they go from the fountain, super amounts of sweat again. And then they go into this like ballroom and they have ballroom dance lessons.
We already talked about that.
No, you haven't.
I just did.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I said she was off when they went to the dancing date.
I know, but you said something really funny while we were watching it. I wanted to bring it up.
Oh, backtrack.
Sorry. You think that it's a dance plug for Dancing with the Stars. Things that make you go, I mean,
maybe
it's pretty good. She'd be great. Do you think she'd be good on that show?
I think she'd be great.
And then Zach's date is a 9-year anniversary for being sober, which is really cool. Props to Zach. Then we move to Ben's date and we get the complimentary ABC man shower scene with Ben. Thanks, ABC. Could look forward to some Ben nudity. Ben's eyebrows went up when she said her heart is with someone else. And guess what happened? Do you remember?
We already talked about this.
No, we didn't talk about this. Ben shed a tear.
Like one.
I know. That was one more than he's ever shed in his life, it sounds like.
He's like, I kind of feel bad. He shoved so many things down, which I can't even imagine the things that he's gone through in his life, especially in the military.
Yeah.
But like, how do you shove it down so far that like he's, because I remember him saying, he's like, I don't even know where that emotion comes from. Like, he doesn't even know like how to do it. I'm like,
you'll probably be mad at me for this, but there's a scene in Seinfeld, an episode of Seinfeld where, because Jerry Seinfeld never cries, and when he finally does cry, he's rubbing his eyes and he's like, "What's this salty discharge?" I guess I'm the only one laughing there.
Yep.
I felt really bad that Ben had to pack his own. I mean, he had to pack his own bags, but the guy had to put his own bags in the truck.
Well, yeah,
or the Suburban
right now.
Oh yeah, maybe it's because of COVID.
Yeah, you can't be handling. Well, but I guess they had other people come get the bags from the other dates. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't know what exactly the time frame was that.
And then we're nearing the end of the episode, but Neil Lane comes back.
He's probably like, "Oh, you're not the guy we picked rings out with."
Yeah, you kind of look the same. Y'all have scruffy beards, but you're not the same guy. So they pick out a ring, and FYI, I didn't talk about this earlier. Two things about Neil Lane. Those rings aren't that great. Like, I feel like the rings are all just cluttered with tiny diamonds. They should be like these big rocks, and they're not. And also, Neil makes this claim that he hand makes them all. No way, man. This guy isn't hand making the rings.
They could be handmade, but he isn't handmade.
He says, "I handmade this one." I'm like, dude, there's no way you handmade this ring, bro.
Maybe
someone else did.
Maybe he did.
Right. I call baloney on that, Neil Lane. Tayshia said she loves Chris Harrison. And
she does.
I guess I kind of do too.
Yeah.
I think we all should love. #love Chris Harrison. Also, right before the proposal, there's a giant bonfire going. Do we need any more heat in this place? These poor guys are sweating bullets, and then hey, let's have a bonfire right next to the place where we're going to propose.
Fire.
I did not like the super long, dramatic pause that Tayshia gave to Zach. This poor guy just spilled his heart out to her, and she's basically says this like cliffhanger, like she's going to break up with him. But. Pause. She loves him.
Could be editing. I don't know.
No, it was super long.
I don't know. I thought that she was going to maybe say, like, not pick him for a minute.
I did too. I felt the exact same way. I thought.
Because they showed like a little part of her crying, like she had just sent someone home.
Yeah, and we knew it was her in the dress, because that was the dress that she proposes in,
and we knew
or
there's
gets
only
proposed
one
to.
guy left, and then they show her crying before.
Those guys really know what they're doing with those freaking promos.
I know.
But she proposes.
No, he does.
Or yeah, I mean, he spills his beans, then she spills her beans, and then he gives her some rocks. And poor Tayshia has to pick up a dirty wooden taxi and run away in a dirty taxi. But they're happy and in love, so I guess it doesn't matter, right?
It is so cute. You made this comment. They're all like the same. After the engagement,
that's true.
Each couple is like, they react almost the same.
Almost all of them. They first say they're so surprised, like, "Oh, we made it! It's just us. It's us." And then they hoot and holler,
and then they're like, "Woohoo!"
And then they jump around, and then they kiss a lot, and then they dance, and then they spin around. And they're like, "I can't believe it! Can you believe it? I can't believe it! Can you believe it?" And then they're like, "We did it! Let's go! Bye!" And then they talk to the camera and cheers, and they're like,
and then that was it. It was like done.
Yeah, that's what I didn't like too. It was like an abrupt halt. We don't get any a lot of times they would show these like little home movie things
Like where they've
after
been
the
together a little
fact.
bit.
We didn't get nothing. We might have to dig on the internets to see if these guys are still together, because we didn't get anything.
But I'm happy for him. I'm excited. I didn't think she would pick Zach, but they seem really happy, and more power to them.
And that, more power to them, concludes the riveting, most dramatic review of this season. Are we going to watch next season? Bachelor, which they plugged super hard at the end of this episode.
They did plug super hard. So
January 4th or something.
Drama, which I feel like the girls, when it's a bachelor, there's so much more drama. Us girls, man.
So much crying, like many tears, even from the bachelor. He looks like James Bond, FYI. What's his name again? Do you remember his name? He's a handsome gentleman. Of course, they show him showering right before the end of the episode.
Well, yeah, we've seen it how many times? I just can't think of it right now, but
yeah, anyway, let us know if you want us to review that one or not. Hit me up on the Twitters and let me know. Any parting thoughts, honey, before we shut this sucker down?
No.
Well, thanks for joining me on this journey, Jenny, on reviewing the most dramatic Bachelorette season ever. We'll see you later.